The first alarming incident came in the 14th minute and Chelsea got away with it. They were not so fortunate seconds before half-time when another, split-second concentration lapse led to Andreas Christensen's red card, making a task that was already daunting much tougher. By the time the third and fourth came, the latter, yet another Kepa Arrizabalaga howler, the damage had pretty much already been done. Chelsea actually began well defensively against the champions. Despite more questions after shipping his latest soft goal at Brighton, Kepa had started confidently, with Kurt Zouma and Christensen also looking sound in front of him. Then came the sort of panic-spreading error Frank Lampard must fear his defense are always capable of. He has had to become far too accustomed to them for his liking. Admittedly, how it came about was unfortunate. Reece James' clearance cannoned off Jordan Henderson and span into and across the Chelsea box. But then Kepa badly misjudged the situation, needlessly dashing out of his goal. Mohamed Salah rounded him, crossed for Roberto Firmino and only the backtracking Christensen denied the Brazilian a tap, in goal. The TV cameras honed in on the already under-pressure Kepa, who is having such a torrid time it is hard not to have some sympathy for him, and then on to Petr Cech in the stands. Not only was he one of the Premier League and Chelsea's greatest goalkeepers but in his current role as the club's technical and performance advisor he has also been key to their pursuit of rent stopper Edouard Mendy. Chelsea hoped to announce his arrival this week after agreeing a £22 million deal with his French club. It didn't take a genius to imagine the conversation running alongside the pictures. That first nervy moment was followed by a couple of dodgy clearances from Kepa which went without punishment then but were merely a sign of things to come. After the break, before that Henderson spotted a gaping hole in Chelsea's defence and arrowed a lofted pass through it. In a desperate attempt to make up for being slow to react Christensen dragged down a through-on goal Sadio Mane. Though why referee Paul Tierney issued a yellow card and needed a VAR review before sending off the Dane was a mystery. With that, Chelsea's chances of making an early season statement, suggesting here that they will be more of a threat to Liverpool this term, were gone. Though they of course gave Liverpool a helping hand en route to their victory, allowing Mane a free header before an almost inevitable blunder from accident, waiting to happen. Kepa, an awful, lazy clearance, presented the Senegalese star with a tap-in for his second just 4 minutes later. Earlier on the cameras had picked out Thiago Silva in the stands among Chelsea's sidelined summer recruits and Christian Pulisic. He looked like a man itching to join in, standing on the Stamford Bridge steps, on his toes, surveying the warm-ups, while Hakim Ziyech and Ben Chilwell remained seated. How Lampard must have wished he had his defensive reinforcements to call on. Chelsea have spent the bulk of their £200 million plus spree on their attack this summer, in a top-heavy overhaul in their bid to cut the 33-point gap between them and Liverpool. In some ways it is understandable given how often their lack of ruthlessness cost them last season. But, if the exciting Timo Werner and Kai Havertz, undoubtedly talented but underwhelming again here, have the potential to be the best of Chelsea's business, the three defensive additions will perhaps be the most important. Silva will be 36 this week but, when he is up to speed, Lampard hopes he will bring some calm, experience and much-needed leadership to a backline that was never settled last season and shipped 54 league goals, the most in the top 10. Even before Silva is ready to challenge for a place, Antonio Rudiger has found himself squeezed out, sparking doubts about his future. An unused sub at Brighton on Monday, the most experienced of Chelsea's centre-backs from last season was not even in the squad on Sunday. Lampard was desperate to secure Chilwell having not been convinced by the left-backs he inherited, Marcos Alonso or Emerson Palmieri. As for Mendy, the hope was he would provide competition for Kepa. But the shaky Spaniard is making so many mistakes, unsettling those in front of him so often, that Mendy might have to be ready to start from the off. The value of a goalkeeper who can be relied upon was underlined by Alisson, whose penalty save from Jorginho and a second stop from Tammy Abraham denied Chelsea even a glimmer of hope. With interest in West Ham's Declan Rice too, Silva, Chilwell and Mendy may not be the last additions aimed at helping the Blues tighten up. The defensive cavalry can't come soon enough.